You ever feel like there's some kind of hidden force shaping our world? It's a thing that fuels our political divides, sparks those heated debates you see everywhere, from London to Los Angeles. But here's the thing, it's not what you think. This is a story about chasing ghosts. It all starts with a feeling. It's like a quiet whisper, this deep kind of unsettling sense that the world you know is just slipping away. It's really hard to put your finger on, right? But it's powerful. So powerful it can fuel entire political movements. You hear it all the time from immigrants. They talk about the country they left behind and how it's disappearing, turning into a place they don't even recognize anymore. And then you hear the exact same thing from people who were born right here. They talk about the country they grew up in and how it's just vanishing right before their very eyes. And here's where it gets messy. Both sides are absolutely convinced their feeling of loss is totally unique. And guess who they blame? Yup, the other group. But what if I told you they're both being haunted by the exact same ghost? Okay, so how is that even possible? To figure this out, we need to pull back the curtain on this really fascinating psychological concept. It's called the Crystallized Culture Effect, and it's basically the hidden engine driving this whole thing. Put simply, it's what happens when the world around you changes way faster than your own identity can keep up. Your idea of home gets kind of frozen in time, like a time capsule. For an immigrant, that frozen memory is the country they left. But, and this is the part almost everyone misses, the exact same thing can happen to you even if you've never moved an inch.
Yeah, this really nails it, doesn't it? It's two sides of the very same coin. For immigrants, the story is you left your country. But for the native population, the story is your country left you. See, it's the same feeling of displacement, just coming from two different directions.
All right, let's take this out of the theoretical and see how it actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at two super powerful examples of this nostalgia, two groups chasing two very different but totally connected cultural ghosts. First up, the ghost of Britain. You hear this a lot from conservatives, especially in America. They'll point to a place like London and say, see, that's a cautionary tale of a culture changing too fast. But if you look a little closer, what they're really mourning isn't just about changing demographics. It's the loss of an idea, the idea of a powerful, dominant Britain that used to be the center of the world. But hold on, let's just look at the actual timeline. That version of Britain, the world-dominating empire, it started to fade right after World War II. Its colonies got their independence, America's power grew, and Britain's global influence just shrank. And here's the key part. All of this happened decades before the big cultural shifts people talk about today. And that brings us to a huge insight. The cultural change that gets blamed for everything wasn't the cause of Britain's decline, it was a consequence of it. The ghost people are mourning isn't just a lost culture, it's the ghost of a lost empire. Now let's flip the coin and look at the other side, the ghost of the homeland. You hear this all the time from immigrants. They talk with so much nostalgia about the places they left behind. They remember, stronger family values, a safer society, a more authentic culture. It's a really beautiful, powerful memory. But we have to ask a tough question here. If the homeland was truly that perfect, why did they leave? The reality is people emigrate for very real and often very painful reasons, which means that immigrants are also chasing a kind of ghost, a selective, idealized memory of home, seen through that warm, fuzzy glow of nostalgia. So here we are. We've got two groups that look like they're on opposite sides of a huge divide, but they're both mourning a lost world. And this is where their stories collide in a way that most people never, ever see. So what's the big twist here? What's the one thing that almost everyone is missing in this whole debate? This is it. This is the connection. An immigrant grieving their lost homeland and a native grieving their changing culture are experiencing the exact same psychological process. Think about it. Both feel displaced. Both feel culturally unanchored. Both feel like the world changed without asking them first. And both feel like they're losing a core part of their identity. They're not enemies fighting over the future. They're mirror images of each other, each one reflecting a shared, deeply human grief for a world that no longer exists. It's a really powerful perspective, isn't it? And once you see it, it's pretty hard to unsee. If this idea helps you see the world a little differently, maybe you can help someone else see it too. Like, share, and subscribe to Project Human. Okay, so If we're all just chasing ghosts, where does that leave us? What's the way out of this? I mean, how do we actually move forward?
Well, here are 4 steps. First, we can see nostalgia not as a weakness, but as a form of love for the time and place that made us who we are. Second, we have to accept that all cultures evolve. It's just an iron law of history. Third, and this is a big one, we need to stop mistaking that change for an automatic catastrophe. And finally, we can build a future that honors our memories without becoming prisoners of them.
It all really boils down to this. The past is a place to learn from, not a place to live in. It gives us our lessons, our identity, but it is not a destination we can or should ever try to go back to. In the end, the ghosts we're all chasing, that perfect past, that idyllic homeland, they were never completely real. They're memories, not destinations. And maybe, just maybe, realizing that we are all chasing them together is the first step to stop fighting and start asking the only question that actually matters. What kind of future will we build together now?